One of the investors that I was working with had some real good properties that they wanted to go look at. And one of them was this double and a duplex. And one side was vacant, one side was occupied. We had seen the vacant side. We had to get into the occupied side just to check it out. This was an older home, so I'm real big on getting into the basement, checking out the foundation, checking out all the good stuff. We're trying to get our way into this door. And I'll back up a little bit. To get into this house, the seller not their agent, had their property manager show up to the house to let us in because he had the keys, right? So he's sitting there trying to get the keys to work. The keys were not working in the door. He said, let me go check the back door. So he ran around to the back door, came back around on the phone with the seller going, yep, the keys just wouldn't work. They must have done changed the locks on us, is what he says to the seller. And I could hear the seller just yelling at him. He goes, don't worry, I'll cart us in. I'll cart us in. And he hangs up the phone and he pulls a credit card out of his wallet and he starts working on this. We're on the front porch of the house. My client is standing right here. This is a soon-to-be rental property that she did end up purchasing, by the way. We're standing there hoping that we can get in just so we can make the decision on whether or not this was the house or not. The guy's working the credit card and he finally pops the lock on this door. He carted us in. We get into there. Now, one of the things that I always do, as all good agents should do, is you should protect your client a little bit by going in first, right? So I already had a kind of a sketchy feeling. So I walk in first. We're walking in, she's behind me, my client's behind me, and all of a sudden we hear footsteps coming down the stairs. Now, we had banged on this door, front and back, several times to try to get somebody into this house, right? We're trying to open up the door. Nobody was opening the door for us. We carted our way in. We're about halfway through the living room, and this big, huge dude comes walking down the stairs, hood up, looking like it had been a long night. That's all I'm gonna say. And it was kind of sketchy. I pulled out my realtor lingo and started talking to this guy, and I probably could have turned him into a client if I really wanted to, I don't know. But he sat down on the couch. We ended up looking at the house. It was just a crazy experience of, I've never been carted into a house before. And usually that's not a good showing experience where your client wants to buy the house, but my client ended up getting the house.